Back at the pond build job. Got the excavator warming up here. Another cold morning. Luckily it looked like most of the rain missed up here. Got a lot of rain at the house, so I brought the overflow pipe. Got some new tires put on my truck and a leveling kit, so it sits up a little higher now. I like the way that rides. So there's the overflow pipe. And got my new belts for Betty. I'll probably wait a little bit later and put those on. We'll take the excavator and go over there to that pile of clay and transfer it back. It's about 28, 29 degrees. It's a little cold to be working on Betty and sitting on that this morning. So I'm gonna run the excavator for a little bit, let it warm up, and get all that clay spread, and then I'll probably put the belts on the track loader and push that topsoil over there. I got to put those stumps in the pond. So still a lot of stuff to do. I hope to get majority of the grading done today. Overflow put in tomorrow, everything dressed up, and hopefully get everything seeded and strawed. I'm working on throwing the dirt back here. It's just kind of easier to move the pile back with the excavator because obviously it scoops dirt faster than the dozer does. Plus I can't really get behind the pile because there's a pond, and trying to push down a big stockpile with that finished dozer just is not very practical. It'll do it, but it's not very practical. And frankly, it's just too cold to sit on the track loader, so here we are with the excavator, which is really about the fastest because if you look at the scoop size, the loader will probably hold 50% more than that. Wish I had a pile. Oh, here we go. Let's do a little observation. I got a pile right here. Do I got a better pile? No. It's kind of got dumped out, spread out a little bit, but that's a track loader scoop to my right, and that's the excavator scoop. So they're not too far off. That one got spread out a little bit, so it's probably 40 to 50% more. But as I'm sitting here baling it with the excavator, I can move probably at least 3 scoops for every 3 to 4 scoops for every one that I do with the loader, even though I'm toting it farther away. You know, say I'm moving 3 yards with that and I'm moving 2 yards with this, I've moved 8 yards for what I've moved in 3, if that makes sense. So I just take it and I spread it all out, nothing pretty at all, and then I come in here with the dozer and knock it down. And that's just my way of doing it. And whoever said I needed a wheel loader, I don't think you've ever been in the grading business, because that's not a very practical machine for bulk moving dirt around the bumpy job site. Come along pretty quickly. I should get all this spread out well before lunchtime, I would hope. Get that knocked down and then start on the topsoil, covering that up. Or pretty much I got to take all that topsoil, that pile and that right there, and that's what I'm going to top dress everything with. Because as you can see, this is just the clay out of the pond, and it won't grow anything very well. That's why I take the extra time to stockpile all my topsoil. That way I'll have something to push back over top of this and give them a good final product. Most people would have just thrown the clay over here and call it good and carry on to the next project. But I know what it's like trying to grow grass and this stuff, and they want it to look nice down here, so spend the extra time to do that. Kind of spread it out, nothing, you know, too high, just because it does make it a pain to spread with a dozer if it's, you know, so high. When you're having to cut into it and it falls down on the dozer, it's just not very practical. But if I can run in there and take a 4 or 5 foot tall pile and just knock it across over there, I can really actually move a fair amount of dirt really quickly with that dozer. So scoop what I got right here back, and then I'll go up there and pull that down and waste it in this low area right here. And that's pretty much the easiest way to move a large amount of dirt. Well, I wouldn't call it a large amount of dirt, but get it pulled back fairly quickly because you're scooping it and you're pulling it at the same time, spreading it over the low area right here. Got all the dirt pulled back from the pile right here, and I need just a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is trim about 6 or 7 feet off of this pond bank and widen the pond out a little bit more, and that'll kind of help with my curve, I guess you could say. It kind of came in and then went straight, so I'm going to kind of pull this corner back a little bit, give it a little bit more shape, and that'll give me the extra dirt I need right here to finish leveling this up the way it needs to be done. So I'm just going to hog this out with the grading bucket, then I'll come in here with the dozer and trim all that out, make it look nice and pretty. Just trying to get the slope roughly cut in. That way all I got to do is just blade over it, trim it out. Dozer should make pretty quick work of that. I got it pretty well spread out. All the dirt is now dug out of the pond, and it is time to put the last 2 stumps in here, and then everything else is just dress up work. So this is a pretty large stump. Wiggle my way down here easy. This one, there's a deep section over here. Hopefully I can dig the hole with the grading bucket on. I turned my valve so I could use the thumb. We'll get a scoop and then walk out there and dump it up there on the edge, and then try to roll this stump down in here. I think I'm going to do one right there and then one right here, and that'll probably be good enough. Is the deepest section right in here, so let's try to get it somewhat even with that. Might put it a little closer, somewhere about right in here. So I'm going to get probably 2 or 3 scoops of dirt like that, walk over here, dump it out, and then come back, roll the stump in there upside down. So, be back in. Alright, let's see how this lays in here. Hope I dug the hole big enough. I can barely pick this thing up. Whoop, tipping over. Alright, we gotta spin the track so we can pick it up. Alright, now we gotta get closer so we can pick it up. There we go. And let it fall. like that. This will stay put. I'm gonna take what's left and put one scoop of dirt right here. Take that, dump it around there, mash that in place. There we go. Got a good, nice. So I'm gonna tilt that back. Throw some dirt in there. Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted. Get some dirt packed around that thing. And I can do the same right here. That'll kind of lock it in place. I know you wouldn't think this thing would float, but you'd be surprised at how much buoyancy these stumps have. So I try to put some dirt around it to lock everything in place and keep the stump down. Alright, well that'll be about 5 feet underwater probably, so that'll make a nice little fish habitat. I'm going to do the other one right here. So I'm over here on the far side with the dozer now, pushing all that dirt back that I laid out with the excavator this morning that was in that big stockpile right there. Now you can't really see it because of the dirty windows, but all that pile of dirt was right there and I transferred it back, and as you can tell I started spreading that out a few minutes ago with the dozer, and I'm going to work on getting all this knocked down, graded out, and then I'll take that topsoil and push it over top of it, and should have a pretty nice little grass area over here. check this out. Got all that dirt bladed off, kind of tracked in, and now what I'm going to do is go park the dozer, eat a little bit of lunch, put the belts on the loader, and start taking that dirt. It's packed in there pretty good. I'm going to see if I can't take it and push it across there, just get it, majority of it pushed out, and then come back over here with the dozer and run over everything and final grade it. Coming along, stumps. I don't remember if I even took a video. Got the 3 stumps in the pond. Everything's coming along, coming along. Got my safety lock in place. And my tree on that end. So, I need to quit jumping. That's going to kill my legs every time. Got that wedged in there. So on this safety lock, that slides up and goes over that. But I'm missing the rest of it, which is a bolt that goes in there and a big plate that locks that over in place so it can't go anywhere. So if anybody knows of one of those, I'll gladly get it from you. So time to do the fan belts. So I went to Cat and actually got the correct belts, because the ones that are on here are not, the numbers don't match to the ones that are supposed to go on it. And as you can tell, the alternator down there is the adjustment, and it's all the way out, so they're pretty loose. So I have a feeling that's why it's not cooling right. And I don't even think those, they have teeth on it, but these are definitely the right belts. So let me get that loosened up and get these belts on. So I ran into a new problem while we were putting that on there. Yeah, it's around 8 feet. So the tensioner slide, somebody's changed the pulley or something, so it's not long enough. So we're gonna, Reckon you make a new one of those? Identical to that, just maybe another inch longer?
No problem. Yeah, keep your boat with you. No problem. I get on the road.
I got enough room. Here, let me put it back on there and look. So I got that adjustment slide taken off. He's gonna run to, he's actually got a machine shop, go make me a new one that's about 1 inch longer. So somewhere in there somebody's changed a pulley or something, because those are the belts that are supposed to be on this machine, ordered from the Caterpillar dealer. So somebody's changed something. I'm gonna say the alternator's been changed, because everything else is pretty well there to be. All right, well, I'm gonna go grade some more while he goes and makes that, and then we'll see if we can't get that put on and use it a little bit. I ran over this a couple more times and kind of spread it out. Maybe it'll dry out a little bit. It's a little muddy, but got more rain calling for in a couple days, so I need to get all this stabilized. Hopefully get that piece made today and move some of that topsoil. But while I'm waiting, got the laser set up, went ahead and shot grades on the dam. I'm gonna run up here and grab the owner's mini excavator. He said I could use it instead of having to bring mine all the way up here for 20 minutes worth of digging, and go ahead and dig the ditch for the overflow pipe, and I'll get that put in the morning. All right, got the Kubota down here. It's one of the new KX57-5s. A little 24-inch bucket on it, so I'll have to cut my trench a little bit wider. Let's check our grade here. And come on, there we go. Figure out where I need to start digging my ditch at. So I got 4 inches of fall from bottom of pipe here to back there. So not a lot, but it's enough. It will flow out. Let's see, where's bottom of trench at? Right here. So we'll take that, make a little level indication, and that's where we'll know we'll have to start digging at. Let's start digging. Be about 4.5 feet in the ground. About 4. Trench is coming along. About to daylight it out into the field right there. There's like a little swell right there at the property line next to the solar farm, so it'll just daylight right into that and then go down through there into the drainage ditch in between them. So there's no water going through this pond dam. That stuff is packed and goopy and just, boy, it's hard digging. That's good. That's what we want. Let me finish this up, and it's just that little bit of topsoil from here back that I threw back there for the back slope, and then I'll probably go grade some more, but hopefully get the that belt tensioner fixed for the Betty there and move that dirt tomorrow. So let's dig a little dirt here with this real quick. crushed concrete down here. I had about 100 tons, maybe a little bit more, dumped up here before I was ready for it to be spread. So doing the best I can to take it down there somewhat uniform with the dozer. So pretty much what you got to do to keep it from being 40 feet wide from where the piles are is just take it and kind of slot doze it down there, and then come back and push your sides in, and that should kind of keep it somewhere not so wide, somewhat. Boy, that mud is some nasty stuff to try to grate out, but I'm gonna bring the skid steer tomorrow and try to slick it up a little bit better with that. Spread that crushed concrete out as far as it would go. It's a little wide, but you can't do much when it's all dumped out in 6 piles or 5 piles, whatever it was. So I got that. I'll run over that skid steer and clean that up. But yep, didn't get that bracket when I get it back in the morning. So I get that put on. I use the loader to push that topsoil out over there and get the overflow put in, and dress this up with a skid steer and be ready to seed and straws Saturday morning.